Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Real Reds Talk, the authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. This is your breaking news show.
We want Blaze out, say we want Blaze out. We want Blaze out, say we want Blaze out. We want Blaze out, say we want Blaze out.
Yes, what's going on, people? Welcome to all. Welcome to the lads on the channel. We've got a lot of stuff to tick off the list today. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend and you're ready to dive straight into this with us, because we're going to be talking about Marcus Rashford's brand new contract. It's just been announced by Fabrizio Romano literally about 10 minutes ago. Onana, here we go, was last night as well, I think. Or was it the night before? Maybe I'm losing track of things. The goalkeeper domino effect. Rasmus Hojlund, Maguire and McTominay as options to leave. Bruno captain and Amrabat as well we're going to talk about. So like I said, make sure you get involved in the comment section. Leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And just for members as well, the video's been filmed today. We're going to take a closer look at the Japanese prospect, Zion Suzuki. So I hope you all enjoy that one when it does drop. Keep an eye out for that this week. To become a Real Red Ultra, click the link in the bio or the join button next to the notification bell. Right, let's kick things off with Marcus Rashford then, fellas. United have reached an agreement in principle with Marcus Rashford over a new 5-year contract. The deal was in the final stages, as reported by David Ornstein, and Romano's just announced it now that it's officially signed. And I saw a stat before saying last season Marcus Rashford, I know you like stats, Chives, so I've got this one especially for you. It says last season Marcus Rashford scored 10 match-winning goals in the Premier League. Harry Kane was the only player with more, which gives an example a little bit of how clutch he actually was for us. But first and foremost, Chives, are you happy with this news?
It was never in doubt, in my opinion. He
Yeah.
was always going to sign. He was always going to stay. What was kind of weird for me was when Romano said it yesterday, he said there were clubs in England and abroad. And I can understand, like, PSG, there were links with PSG, maybe Real Madrid, I don't know. But then, like, in England, like, what team, like, would have the balls to actually...
Probably Chelsea. They're in for fucking everybody else, aren't they? So... wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, just maybe Newcastle. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not Man City, but yeah. But
For sure.
yeah, just to answer your question, yeah, I was never in doubt. I'm not surprised. Hopefully, he doesn't have that big contract sort of dip. You know, like we've seen it a lot with like Aubameyang, Salah, David De Gea. I mean, the list goes on. I think even Henry's last contract, like he wasn't really on point. Like, so yeah, but you know, yeah, I'm glad he signed.
Sam, do you think he can improve next season, or at least maintain the form that he showed last season?
Can he? Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a couple of good seasons out of him. We've seen the NHS season where he combined with Martial and scored a record amount of goals, and we've just seen the last season. Like, arguably, you could probably say it's a purple patch, because he did dip off towards the end, but the guy scored 30 goals and he's the first guy to score 30 goals since RVP, so like he has to have done something right, purple patch or not, he's done something correct. I think, can he get it? Yeah. Has he got the right coach to do it? Absolutely, but he needs to take that step as well. Like, coach can only do so much, coach can only get to you to a point, you then have to take the step, and like Chivy said, he's going to be one of the highest paid players, if not the highest paid player at the club. He now needs to represent that. He needs to put it on the pitch, what the team and the manager and the club have put into him now with the money. He needs to step up, and he needs to be one of our most important players. He was last season. He needs to do it again. He can't have another season like he did the season before last, where we voted him the worst player. Like, and he was fucking shocking. Like, I've never seen a performance like that in a season. He can't have another one of them. He has to take another increment up or another step up or equal what he did last season, because if he takes a dip down, we've just wasted 225 grand a week for 5 years. And then what do you do then? How do we shift a guy like that who's on 325k? Same issue. So
I think the only thing that separates Marcus Rashford from like world class is just consistency. Like he has world class performances, but if he can just keep them on a consistent level, then we'll be talking about him in the same bracket as some of the other like world class names.
Yeah, absolutely. And the purple patch thing I've discussed before, I'm not worried. Well, I'm slightly worried about it, but I've seen him have these things before, like you said, where he's like really hit like the top of the mountain and then he's crashed right back down. So I'm praying that doesn't happen again. But I think he's got the right environment and the right manager behind him. But Dan, what more, if there is anything, what more do you want to see from his game? Like, where do you think he can improve?
I think the one of the main thing where he can improve is try to bring in team into the play. So whenever we have seen him playing, like he's like as compared to the solo play, he's one of the best in the league. But when it comes to playing with the team, I think at the final third, the decision making has to improve in terms of his playing style, because we have seen that most of the time we have seen that he has the better option otherwise, but he still go on for a goal. So that time, if he can improve that area of his play, then I think he can even increase his stats assist-wise as well. Because we have seen that he is very good in scoring, but he has more options, more chances to give up assists. But then he choose to shot a wide on the wider side of the goal. But yeah, to be honest, his price tag is yeah, it's good because you see that the other players are there who are in the same range, like 300 plus, with Sancho also earning that much. And but to be honest, it's a big jump for him personally in the salary wise, because he was earning somewhere around 200k if I'm not wrong. Now he's getting 375. So he has to prove that on the pitch, as you guys have mentioned that. But yeah, with the incoming of a proper solid striker, I think it will improve. That team play will improve in his game.
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting as well that he's not in his technical prime yet. I know some players can hit the peak before they do, but he's only 25 years old, Marcus Rashford. Just signed another 5-year deal. So you've got, I'm hoping these next 5 years are obviously better than the ones just gone, and you can start to get that consistency out of his game and be regarded amongst others as that kind of elite player. Which, if he does the same again last season, I think people can appreciate that. Should we read out some comments, Sam?
Sorry, I was muting myself because I was typing. Let's have a look. Brian's saying take your time, lads. I did get a chance to join the last one before it ended. Sorry, Brian, technical issues, it happens. Brian Casey's summer transfer is starting to look a bit more promising. Absolutely. Moondog, if we didn't give him a new contract, he would leave, and letting Rashford leave would be the same as Liverpool letting Trent leave. Rubber2908, it's good to see you again, Rob. I've not seen you for a while.
Yes. Hello.
Had fun at the weekend leaving crap reviews for all the Glazer family-owned companies. Weekend well spent, absolutely, mate. Didn't see Fab's tweet. Is there a release clause, and if so, how much? I don't think so. Not that I know of, but
I've not seen anything about a release clause, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, that's it. That's all the comments so far.
Awesome. We have got a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm sure you guys can appreciate it. We're just going to keep this wheel kind of moving. From new contracts to new signings, Andre Onana, we've spoke about him in depth before, but it's obviously official now since we've last gone live. We understand Onana will sign a 5-year deal at United, valid until June 2028. Manchester United will also include an option for a further season until 2029. Sources feel it was impossible to reject Man United for Onana. He's ready to sign, working on the visa for pre-season tour. Shiva, do you expect an easy transitional period for him, having worked under Ten Hag before?
Yeah, well, he's worked with Ten Hag and Lisandro, so that'll be great for both for him, because he's got a defender in front of him who he knows, who he understands. So it will be a lot easier to kind of get in, And yeah, I think he's, I don't know how old he is, but
27.
Yeah, so he's experienced, and the kind of character that he is, from what we've seen, I don't think there'll be too much of a like a transitional period. I think he'll hit the ground running.
Yeah, absolutely. What about the switching style though? Like, going into this season, do you expect to see a big switch up from how we was playing last season? Anything in particular? Obviously, with the new signings coming in.
Yeah, I mean, because no one really saw us getting a player like Mason Mount, because it didn't kind of suit the way we played last season. But I think with Onana now, and if he's going to do what he normally does in terms of like the distribution, counter-attacks, things like that, like Mason Mount is not, from what I understand, he's not one of them possession type players. He's one of them direct sort of, players. And I think having Onana in there, fizzing the balls over the, we can easily bypass the midfield now. And having the ball in front of him, I'll be happier seeing players like Mount and Rashford having the ball in front of them rather than trying to keep possession and doing the whole tiki taka sort of stuff. So yeah, I think he fits in just well with the style of play. Obviously, he's played under the manager before. If you're a top player, it shouldn't be a problem. If you're good enough, you're good enough. And I think he's one of those guys that I don't see him having too much of a long time trying to bed in. He's one of them times.
Yeah, agreed. And it's important, obviously, Sam, as well, to remember this guy's going to make mistakes, right?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I saw literally, like, after he signed, I saw there's a Twitter account called Troll Football, and they basically posted a video of all these mistakes and being like, oh, people are having a go at David De Gea for making mistakes. Just wait until this guy. But, like, his style and the way he plays football just dictates there's going to be more risk, which means if there's more risk, there's more risk of a mistake. But the advantages that he gives you sort of outweigh the risks. Like, yeah, there's going to be a risk of loss of possession. He might hit a stray pass sometimes or not quite make it to the player. But when you take it back to De Gea, who just never made those passes, who just never made those risks, and when he did kick it out, it's straight into the opposition. So you might as well just not try to do that because you've just given possession over. Whereas with Onana, we've seen the passing. He was doing it in a Champions League final against arguably one of the greatest teams in Europe right now, if not the world, who pressed the life out of you, who are high possession, high press, all that sort of stuff, and he was doing it in a Champions League final. I don't know how much more of a level you need to do it at to prove that this is what you're good at and what you can do. He's doing it in a Champions League final when nobody gave him a chance, and that everyone was saying it's City, like City are winning this. And he made a good game of it, to be fair to Winter. Like the City did not look good at all. They could have scored if Lukaku could actually finish something, but didn't get towards the end. But yeah, he's very capable of starting attacks, even putting assists in. Lissandro and Varane are going to have to get used to their goalkeeper, like running past them with the ball, because that's going to happen quite a bit. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have a few heart attacks at Old Trafford next season. He's going to make mistakes. But when you remember when David De Gea first came in, do you remember the amount of mistakes he used to make when the first season, man?
From the
first game. So, and people were all over his back. He was too weak. He was too skinny. Like, there was all this shit about him. And he was one of the most expensive goalkeepers ever at the time. I know Onana's, I think he's in the top 5 most expensive keepers of all time. But so he's going to make mistakes. However, if you look at the Champions League clean sheets, he's top of it. He's ahead of Edison. He was ahead of who was the other guy? I can't remember who was third, but he was top of the clean sheets league in the Champions League, which.
Sorry, Sam. Not just clean sheet. He had the most saves.
There you go, another one. So like this guy knows what he's doing. He's a good goalkeeper. He's great with his feet. He can pass it out. He takes risks, but that's what you want. If you want to progress and you want to beat a press, you have to have a goalkeeper that takes risks and steps forward. Because if you don't, that's what happened to us last season. You saw what happened. So it's going to change things completely. So people need to get used to it. But give the guy opportunity. Give the guy a season. We've give Anthony a season. We've give Sancho 2. Arguably, he shouldn't get a third, but he looks like he's going to. So at least give the guy a season to bed in. I don't think he'll need it. I think it'll take him a couple of months and it'll be absolutely fine. But just give the guy time.
And when you look at the price that's paid for, like, Alice, obviously Onana's not started his career at Manchester United yet, so this is just kind of predicting. But if we do think he's going to do what we've seen with Inter Milan and stuff, Liverpool paid like, what was it, 70-odd million for Alisson, most expensive goalkeeper ever. So I think it'll like a bargain if he comes in and we expect him to do what he's doing. Are there any worries at all on your side, Dan, in terms of maybe bedding into the team or, getting used to it or getting used to the Premier League? Like, because obviously it's much faster paced. He's not going to have as much time on the ball as you would, let's say, from the Italian league we playing out from the back.
To be honest, I don't see anything negative side of it because when you compare Onana with De Gea, definitely when we talk about De Gea, mostly the positive side of De Gea is the saves, and Onana does the similar kind of saves. We have, if you see his maybe the highlights may have so many saves, but actual wise, I still remember the game long back. When Onana was in Ajax and they played against Real Madrid, and Ronaldo find it very difficult to score a goal against him, and from that day onwards, I've been thinking why not we have a goalkeeper like an Onana. And if you ask me, if you can see my clips before as well, I was whenever you have asked about the goalkeeper, I have chosen Onana, and at least from now onwards we won't be tensed or worried whenever we play tiki taka at the back. And Onana in the team itself will build a confidence from the back, and his passing is something like he's like a Bruno Fernandes of goalkeeper. And now the opponents will be thinking twice before pressing, which was not the case when De Gea was here. Whenever our defenders, maybe I'm talking about Maguire, Lindelof, and De Gea combination. Whenever they had the ball, the opponent tends to press on us. But now we have so many. Like Martinez, Varane, and now Onana. Then team will be thinking it twice. So with Onana, we get so many upgrades as a goalkeeper with the passing, with the distribution, commanding the box, and even collecting the crosses. So those things we haven't been familiar enough when De Gea was here, but now we will be seeing all those stuff from a goalkeeper.
Yeah, I've been seeing a couple of people making like compilations of his mistakes, obviously rival fans already before he was even walked through the door. And you're like, come on, mate, you could just do that with anything. Like, you can make any player look shit.
Yeah, you can make a compilation of even the top goalkeepers like Buffon or Schmeichel.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even you can get worse than De Gea, but that's not the case. Yeah.
Exactly.
They did it to Mason Mount after one half in a preseason friendly. They put a fail compilation out. It's like, mate, he's had one half.
4 clips.
That's like, fuck's sake, man.
Yeah.
Like, fuck's sake. Just, like, honestly, we live rent-free in so many fans' heads because there's literally you played a half of football in a preseason friendly and they're going, look at this fail. Look at all this shit. Like, give it a rest.
Absolute craziness, isn't it? Now, of course, with this deal going through, lads, we have a goalkeeper kind of domino situation. Dean Henderson set to join Nottingham Forest in a deal worth up to 20 million once that's all confirmed, the paperwork with Onana. Tom Heaton could join Luton Town if Manchester United signs Zion Suzuki as well from a team's name that I still can't pronounce. Urawa Reds. That's so hard to say.
Uwara Reds?
Uwara. No, it's U-R-A-W-A.
Urara Reds.
It's hard, isn't it? It's hard to say. Urara Reds. Wow, that is a hard one. It's like that red L'Oreal lorry thing.
I'm gonna look up how to pronounce this fucking thing.
I have no idea, but that's the team that he plays for, really. But that's quite nice business, isn't it, Chived? Like £43 million for Onana. If you could sell Henderson for 20, maybe move Tom Heaton on, and then bring in that Suzuki. You got literally 2 different prototypes there, weren't you, to the 2 keepers that we had previously?
Can you imagine Roy Hodgson trying to pronounce that?
Okay, it's I've just put it down, so it's Urawa Reds.
Urawa
Reds.
Urawa. Yeah, but he's saying the Reds after it. That's what's hard.
Yeah.
Urawa. Do you know what I mean?
So double O.
Fuck me. Team name out.
Double A. W-U-H. That's the pronunciation. So Urawa. Yeah.
Urawa Reds.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait until you see that members video. Sorry, Jimmy. I was gonna say, wait until you see that members video. Me trying to pronounce that. It's a fucking nightmare, honestly.
It's like Vikings going for a war when you pronounce.
The important thing there is that they've got their Reds, so that helps.
Yeah, the transition period, but it's yeah. Go on.
And by the way, Nick, it's not Zion, it's Zion, I think.
Oh, I said Zion, didn't I? Zion Suzuki? Oh, apologies. Zion. I'm just fucking pronouncing everything wrong at the minute, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could see the profile of goalkeeper that Ten Hag likes from that, because he's kind of similar to what Onana does in terms of, I think Ten Hag is more interested in the modern day goalkeeper, where it's not just about shot stopping and reflexes, but it's also about scanning. It's also about recognizing a threat, recognizing an opportunity, distribution, passing, so that you can build up easily. And I just love it, and I really, really hope that we actually don't fumble this one. Because if you think about it, if we can actually not get rid, I hate to use the word get rid, if we can move on from 3 goalkeepers in Henderson, Heaton, and De Gea to get Suzuki, Onana, and probably move Kovar up from the youth.
I do that. I like Kovar.
Yeah, because he's similar. He's
Mm.
similar. He's been with us since he was like 16 or so.
Yeah.
And he's one of them big personality types, even though he's young. So yeah, if we can do that, that'll be amazing.
Yeah, 100%. And now, obviously, we've got two signings through the door. We've got Mason Mount, Sam, and we've got Onana that's done. We're kind of looking to move on to the striker situation now. And Romano said earlier on today, United is set to push for Hojlund. United will also explore a new midfielder after sales. Amrabat is appreciated, which we'll touch on near the end. But sticking with Hojlund, how much do United back Ten Hag with this, Sam, considering the price?
Well, they're backing him with every other signing, every other sort of person we've gone for has been pretty much a Ten Hag recommended player, like the first transfer window, Anthony, Lissandro. Casemiro's probably not a Ten Hag selection because obviously he wanted De Jong, but the rest, Malacia, Ericsson, they were all people who Ten Hag worked with, knew of, played against, and sort of saw up close and personal Casemiro aside because obviously he wanted De Jong. And then obviously this season he's gone and done something very similar. Onana is a player he's played with. Mason Mount was a player he wanted to sign when he was at Vitesse. He wanted to sign him then, so he's obviously a player he knows well enough. So he's got his two ties, and then Hojlund's another one where he's obviously set his start. Like we were hearing about Hojlund like earlier in the just before the season ended, weren't we? There was like murmurs and stuff like that. So I think that's clearly Ten Hag's target. He's targeted Amrabat as well, who we'll get onto later, Zion Suzuki. These are all Ten Hag targeted people. So they've backed him so far, and we've got to the point where we are won a trophy, finished third. Back him further, obviously we've got financial restrictions, whether how much you believe it's down to FFP or the Glazers not willing to spend is up to you, but they've backed him so far, so back him again. Like, if you back him again, we might be able to push further, we might be able to... I'm not saying a title, probably too early for a title challenge season. I think if we got somebody like a Kane, might be able to do a title challenge, but I think Hojlund's not the guy to do the title challenge. But I think he'd be a good signing for around 50 to 60 million. I'd be all right with that. I think we're still overpaying to an extent for a guy who's only scored 9 goals. But strikers are such a premium at the minute. Like, it's any sort of guy who's got any sort of talent is going to cost you a shit ton of money. Like, Harry Kane's in the last year of his deal and Spurs want 120 million, which is ridiculous. The guy is a fantastic striker, probably the best English striker there is, but he's not worth 120 million the last year of his contract at age 30. He's just not, but that's the premium strikers are going for at the minute. And a guy like Hojlund, who's got all the potential in the world, who's playing for a decent level at Atalanta, he's going to cost a premium. I think if we were looking at, there was a couple of prices dotted around, was it 85 million they were talking about? That's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, don't even.
But then you don't know if it's like euros or fuck it. It could be like 2 trillion rupees.
Well, they go for the bigger fee, don't they? Whatever's the biggest one, that's what they go for.
Yeah, like, honestly, you'll start seeing journalists do that now. They'll start saying like Rasmus Hojlund 2.1 trillion rupees he's going for just to get that. Like, do you know what I mean?
Like Thailand, the Thailand baht, because like 2,000 baht is like £3. It's just like a million baht. It's just like
it's gone for $1 billion. You're like, what?
So I think he's a very good prospect. Ten Hag clearly wants him. If it's around 50 to 60, I'm all right with that. Pay it. Anything over that, I think that we go for like a Gonçalo Ramos or something like that. I think it'd be great if we could get like Hojlund in for like 55, and then we could bring in somebody like Taremi for a very cheap price as well. And then that's your 3 strikers. You've got Rashford, Hojlund and Taremi. I think that's really good going into the season. Some good strikers there, all slightly different styles, all slightly different things that offer you. And if we can offload Martial, I don't see the likeness of that, but if we could, I think that's the way to go. I don't see us signing 2 strikers, unfortunately. I'd love to, but yeah, I don't see it happening.
Yeah, interesting that. What about if Atalanta are being like stubborn with this, Dan? What do you think? Do you think who's the plan B? Who's the plan C? Who are you going for a similar price? Because if they're asking for that, if they stay stubborn with it and they say 80 million euros, 70, whatever it is, surely there's better options out there in Europe. Do you think?
There are better options, but then the price will increase accordingly. So somewhere around 50-60 million, you will get Hojlund, and I don't think anyone else can be available in that price range. But if you go above 80, then you may get that which just now Sam mentioned, And maybe Osimhen, I think he has been now. It seems like he'll be signing the new contract with Napoli. I think so. We are lacking the options, and that's all these scenarios. The environment around the club is pushing that price of Hojlund up and up again and again. So
Yeah.
if you see 1 month back, he was the rumors were somewhere around 45 to 50, and now it has climbed up till 60. And now as the days goes by, the price will increase even more. And but at this moment, I don't think we have any alternative. Vlahovic, I'm not sure whether he'll be opting for a Premier League move at this moment. But I would have preferred him. He might get somewhere around with the same price tag, 50 or 60 somewhere, and he's more experienced than Hojlund, but I'm not sure about the potential wise. Hojlund might have a better career as compared to Vlahovic. But the thing is, even I feel that I'm not seen, to be honest, much of Hojlund playing. Even his stats is not that great last season. But uh, the name similar to Haaland has increased his price tag, to be honest. And now the thing is, like, the environment of Hojlund, the people around Hojlund are trying to make Hojlund look like Haaland. So
Yeah.
that's one of the thing I can feel from all the situation, and that's where they are increasing his price tag, to be honest. But yeah, in my dream was to have two strikers, one senior and one junior, so that junior can learn from the senior one. That's where I wanted Kane and Hojlund to be in the team. But suppose it seems like we only will have the younger one in the team. But that's again, we won't be challenging for the title if we have only Hojlund in the team. And you see any
Agreed.
other team, City, Liverpool, and even Chelsea and even Arsenal, they are upgrading their team into different level, and each of them have at least two main strikers. And here we are with none of them, and playing Rashford, who is a left winger, and playing him as a striker. And uh, I think with Hojlund, it's like I'll not say a risk, but a gamble, because he's still young, and with that price tag, it will be a lot of a burden on him if we because expectations will be very high because he'll be the only striker in the team.
Yeah, and do you know what? It's a lot in it for a 20-year-old kid to say go do that. I know I said it like loads of times, but it is to say you United's number 9 striker, like go do the business. And maybe he is capable of it. You don't know. Maybe it is a risk that's worth taking. But why do you think Ten Hag specifically is going for Rasmus Chivi? Why is he pushing for him so much? Because there is other options out there. What about Rasmus makes him different, maybe, to the others? Do you think?
Well, he's clearly identified something in Rasmus Hojlund that a lot of us don't know. I mean, to be fair, like nobody can claim to be like an expert on Hojlund. So I can't come and tell you what exactly it is that Ten Hag sees.
Mm.
I watched a lot of Italian football towards the first half of last season.
Yeah.
Don't remember him. I remember it was Ademola Lookman who was like the main guy at Atalanta, at least for the first up until about the World Cup. Lookman was like the top striker. I don't remember Hojlund. So I don't know. It's he's probably seen something, and he's identified something that he's hell bent on, because this looks like a Ten Hag recommendation. Like he's hell bent on this guy, and I'm all for it. Like if he sees something that everyone else doesn't see, well, fair play. I mean, so far all his signings have been. I mean, we'll probably give him like a B plus or like a
Yeah.
B.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. Whatever he sees, that's fine. Because I don't really know this guy, and like Dan says, it stinks of a gamble to me, especially at 70 million, whatever it is that we're paying for.
What's the max you'd pay on it, Chive? Like where would you walk away? Where you just say I'm not paying that?
If they want 70 million euros, and we have it, and we're able to buy. As far here's my thing. I don't mind paying any amount for him as long as we have some money left to buy a midfielder.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So if they want 70 million, I mean, we gambled on Anthony already last season. It hasn't paid off, but it hasn't been like a flop so far.
Mm.
And going for this again is, Atlanta know there's a big hype around the guy. They know our position. We need a striker or two. They know we're desperate. And the way the media has been hyping up Haaland is to their advantage. So they can slap whatever price tag on it, because they know all they have to do is just sit and wait. And then, then if we get Qatar, they might be like, you know what, he's 90 million now.
Well, yeah. We'll wait.
yeah.
We'll just wait.
Wait, yeah. So they can stop whatever price tag it is. Is basically he's worth what we feel, you know, he can bring to the team. So I don't know. I'll be happy with 70 million because I
It's
think,
funny that.
yeah, I mean, because I think if Ten Hag really sees something in him and he really wants to go all out for him, yeah, we should just go and just do it. Like now, early on, I was thinking, I was like, why the fuck do we have Eric Ten Hag now? When we used to have Woodward, just sign him.
Yeah.
Signing anyone.
Well, he'd get involved in it. That was the issue. He'd be like, I want to sign this off. I want to make sure everything's sorted and blah, blah, blah. Like Ed.
We're literally just spending money like crazy. And now we really need like Woodward to put out the checkbook, like he's not there. So yeah, to answer your question, I'll say maybe like 70 million euros for me. So that would be 60 something.
I still feel mugged off with that, me. I still think 70 million euros is a lot for a kid. Like,
but we need him, and we
desperate.
He's young. It's a gamble worth taking. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Should we read out some comments because we appreciate there's a lot and we've been talking a lot. So let's just see what the guys are saying in the chat. Sam, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was typing, and I know people get in the comments going, "I hate the typing. Typing's too loud."
Is that how they speak?
Yeah. So they want to read the comment. That's how they sound in my head.
Yeah.
Croatian national keeper just got signed for 9 million. Would have been a brilliant signing for any team. I don't know. Do you know anybody know who he is? Croatian national.
No, I
keeper?
don't know. I remember watching him, but I don't know the guy's name. But
yeah. He did bits. He did. I think his name starts with L.
I'm not sure.
But I remember that.
Brian Casey, I saw a failed compilation of Onana that lasted 5 minutes. There's a De Gea one that lasted an hour. Okay, now.
Bless him.
Jordan Nelson, I think we should keep Kovar as the second choice if he's willing. Loan Suzuki.
I like him.
Zion is very young, needs regular minutes to build experience. It's a good idea, Jordan, but we need 3 keepers. Like, we do need 3 keepers. So if we loan Zion, that means we have to keep Tom Heaton as the 3rd keeper. So I think.
Wait, is it Zion or Zion?
Zion. Okay, apologies, right. Zion. So I think Chivy's right with the selection. Onana, Zion, and Kovar. I think that would be really good because then you've got a nice sort of terrace system there. Aaron Gregory, we can't be spending 7 million on a kid who ain't scored double figures yet, in my opinion. Brian Casey saying Gonçalo Ramos. Rico63, even to you, mate. Aaron Gregory, if Woodward was about, we'd be getting Dwight York out of retirement. Probably. Rubber 2908, can't believe Atalanta are valuing 20-30 million less than Kane, greedy feckers. Yeah, like Chivy said, they could just slap whatever price tag they want on him. Based on whichever striker we sign this summer, next year's strikers should be inverse regarding age. So if we get Hojlund this year, Kane next year, or Taremi this year, Evan Ferguson next year, in my opinion. Aaron Gregory, I'd rather get Kolo Muani, personally. Sean, I think, being honest, I think the signings, other than Onana, underwhelming. We're looking to close the gap at the top. Have my doubts about Hojlund, but hoping the board legend proves me wrong. And then Anonymous Mango, evening lads, sorry to be so late. No worries, Anonymous Mango. We'll talk after the show.
You're here. That's what matters. I'm going to bring it slightly back to our players because there's been a couple of reports about Harry Maguire, and this again. Look, this is coming from the Sun. Yeah,
don't buy the Sun.
So
don't buy the Sun.
With a pinch of salt. Get ready for this line here from Charlie Wyatt at the Sun. Harry Maguire was angry, shocked, and upset when Ten Hag told him he was no longer Manchester United captain. He is ready to leave the club. Chelsea are considering entering the race for Harry Maguire alongside West Ham, Tottenham, and Newcastle. But United's 50 million valuation of Harry Maguire is likely to drop to 30 million. West Ham are exploring the loan option, but I think they actually went in for him with the loan, and United was like, no, absolutely not. What's the fair price for this? Is a question to any of you, anyone can jump in on this. What's the fair price for Maguire, and which team would he? Chivy, I'm going to go straight to you because I see you shaking your head. What's the fair price for him, and which team do you think he'd suit best?
I think I was shaking my head because like the audacity of West Ham, like
alone.
Are you mad?
Yeah.
Do you know what, Chivy? It wasn't even an obligation to buy; it was an option to buy. It's just like, oh, we'll loan him, but we may not even buy him. It's like, fuck off, man. Like,
Fuck
get
off.
fucked.
Yeah. That's like every time we try to buy a player, like they always come up with like massive prices, and then they come to us and ask for a loan. Like, man,
You've got 100 million in your bank for Declan Rice. You can fuck off.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
pay up.
sorry, Nick, what was the question? Sorry.
I was just saying, what do you think's a fair price, and which team out of them ones that I mentioned do you think he would suit best? I think the teams that have been linked, you've got West Ham, Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea.
Yeah, to be honest, like at this point, like we need to sell, right? We actually
Yes.
need money. I'd be happy with 30 million. Like selling for
Yeah.
30 in England international. If a manager really wants him, like I'd be happy with 30 million. Anything above that is a plus for me, to be honest.
So how many rupees is that, or how many yen is that? Whatever you want to put out there, Jesus. 30 million. What are we saying, lads? Dan, Sam, what do you think?
I agree with Chivy. 30 million. If anything above that, bonus. Like, I can't. Do you know what annoys me? I don't know if we're going to get onto Dean Henderson or not, but Dean Henderson is going for 20 million reportedly from all the reports I've seen. My City's backup goalkeeper, who's never played a game for him, he played in League One, he's going for 19 million. James Trafford.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why is that happening? That's fucking bollocks.
Yeah.
Like, if Harry Maguire had the season at City that he had with us, and he was their former captain, he's going 50 million, isn't he? Guaranteed. Like, absolutely, he's going 50 million. But because it's us, we just fucking devalue players completely, and we just can't sell for shit. It's so irritating. It's so annoying.
It's an indication of where we are right now as a club, that people can just take the piss,
Pretty much.
They know that, they know we're in transition. They know we need to sell. They know about the FFP thing. They know that we need money. They know that we're struggling to get new owners. But we don't know what's going on with the owner situation. This is the best time to lowball. So from a business perspective, I get it, but I just can't wait for this period to be over, because it's disrespectful, to be honest. Right? If we were going for Dean Henderson, right?
50 million. 50 million.
Yeah, it's like 50, 55, 60. Easy.
Yeah.
Did he go to the World Cup?
Oh, Dean Henderson. I think
he's
it was third choice,
backup,
wasn't it? Yeah.
So he's an international, and they're coming with us with this bullshit.
He was the number one goalkeeper for Forest, who were a Premier League team. Like,
I don't get it. Like,
I think with United, it's heavily reported in it, like that we need to sell and how desperate we are to get wages off the books, and everybody knows. Everyone just takes us for mugs, mate. We're like the most obvious thing that's out there in the transfer market. As soon as they see an email saying, "Oh, United want a player," they're like, "Oh, let's go, happy days, put that price up, keep going, because we'll pay it. It's been proven before, we will pay it." So yeah, we're being mugged off from all different angles. But Dan, what was your input on that? Harry Maguire, what would you be happy with?
Yeah, we could have demanded 40 million, but then if you go to a team and ask for 40 million, they will show United fans moaning about after the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, realistically, I think 30 million, somewhere around 30 million or above that will be that would be a bonus one. But realistically, I don't think there are many teams who can afford Harry Maguire, because West Ham, only reason they are going for a loan because they cannot pay his wages. So at this moment, I think the only team that can pay his wages would be Chelsea, to be honest, because he is earning somewhere around 180, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think even Tottenham can afford that much. But so at this moment, only Chelsea can afford that, and also he can be a very good fit in Chelsea team as well, because Chelsea more often they play with a back three, and Maguire in a back three system can be a really good player, as we have seen in when he used to play in England with back three formation. So I think Chelsea would be an ideal position for him. I think that's one of the reasons why Maguire is even telling that he doesn't want to go out, because he knows that no club is there who can pay his wages.
If I tell you what I'm doing now, if I'm negotiator for Manchester United, I'm sending an email out to every agent that's in Saudi Arabia, and I'm doing like proper due diligence with email marketing and doing like a flash sale. And the first thing they see on the screen is Barry just pop up and say flash sale, bring him into your team. Because even though people, he's kind of turned him into a meme and he had a bad season, or he's had a bad couple of seasons with us, him going over to Saudi Arabia, he would still be a standout centre back. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
He'd be the best centre back in the fucking league.
Would he be the best centre back in the league if Maguire was to go there now?
Saudi,
In
absolutely.
Italy.
That's what I mean. So why is because loads of players, £40 million to Fabinho, 700 grand to Henderson, like all these mad fees that are going on. And I know it sounds desperate, but let's be honest, lads, we are fucking desperate at this point. So Saudi, if you're listening, we've got loads of players there. Take your pick, mate. Honestly, there's that many.
There's a
Buy
couple.
to get one free.
Yeah. There's a couple of updates from Claret and Hugh. I have no idea what this. I assume it's some sort of West Ham related outlet.
Okay.
West Ham are rapidly losing interest in making any further moves for United's Harry Maguire. A source has made it clear he has no interest in joining West Ham. The club would not pursue their interest. A source says Harry Maguire is unready to take a pay cut and is not keen to leave United for West Ham at this stage of his career. So that's
his wages go up.
Yeah, they've gone up, haven't they? Because they qualified for the Champions League.
So that's another thing. But yeah, sorry, what was you were going to ask?
No, there's nothing. I'm just disappointed with it, and I'd be more excited now about outgoings. Like I'd get more excited if it got announced tonight that we'd sold Harry Maguire. I'd be celebrating more than the players probably that we signed. To be honest with you, we need people to move out so we can move on.
Because if we sell like Maguire, McTominay, Fred, Donny, people like that, that means we can go get Amrabat. We could get the Hojlund deal sorted, and maybe we could go get Taremi as well for like the second choice. Like that improves our squad so fucking much.
Yeah. Great
midfield in Amrabat, Hojlund as your striker, and Taremi as a backup striker, plus Rashford. Like with Onana and Mason Mount, we're looking decent now as a squad, and it's just
And if you look at the damage, go on.
I think Ten Hag is actually trying to get rid of Maguire. That's why he's done this thing. Because if you look at it, like he doesn't need to announce this captain thing. Like we could have just had the season.
Well, he did it last season, didn't he? Like Bruno was just captain, but he didn't officially.
Then he would have just at the start of the season, he would have just when the season starts, then he would have announced it. We didn't even have to announce it. Like Bruno Fernandes would have just turned up as new captain. But then the fact that he's had the chat with him now, whilst the transfer window is still open, before we go to America, it's kind of like giving an indication like you're not part of my plans, and I'm done with you. It's almost the same thing as when we offered De Gea a contract and then pulled it back.
Yeah, ruthless.
So, yeah, and I think it was the Ten Hag thing where he was like, "Nah, he's not part of my plans. Why are you giving him another contract?" Like,
well, that was the thing, wasn't it? Because they offered it De Gea the contract, and Ten Hag was on the understanding that they get a contract, but you could get another goalkeeper in. And I think they told him if he signs this deal, you don't get a goalkeeper. So Ten Hag was like, "Nah, pull the contract."
Yeah, fuck that. Stop the deal.
Exactly. So he's told him now. Listen, let's have a chat. Like, you're not going to be my captain, and if he has any decorum about himself, he would just look for another club because there's no point. Like,
but on that, can I ask you a question about that, Chive?
Yeah.
I absolutely agree with that sentiment. But if you're in Harry Maguire's shoes now, you're earning 200 odd grand a week at Manchester United, and they asked you to go to West Ham, who's fighting relegation last season, just lost the best player in Declan Rice, and cut your wage by 50%, 100 grand a week, would you do it?
If I want to keep my spot in the English team, yes.
Dan's like that. No. De Niro, mate.
I think.
Honestly, if he wants to keep playing for it, well, you have to be a constant. You have to be a constant there. Like, we don't know how long Southgate's going to be the manager. I know he's like.
Hopefully not long.
Yeah, exactly. So I know he's like Southgate's bet, but if here's the thing: if he's career driven, he would leave. But if it's money driven, he'd stay.
The thing is, I think while he's still getting picked for England, I think he's convinced that he can get back in this United team. I think if he gets dropped from England between now and like January, his mind might switch over. So he might not go this summer, but like if he gets dropped in England in like, is it September, October we play internationals normally?
I've given up with internationals.
Like, yeah, I don't watch it, but normally there's like this international break that we all hate in like the middle of the season.
Yeah.
So like if that happens and he's not picked, for example, or he's not in the squad, January time he might be thinking, I need to get out of here because there's a Euros next season in the summer, and if I'm not getting an England team, that means I'm not going to this tournament, which is I think is very important to him. So I think in January he might then decide he needs to move. But I don't see him moving this summer because nobody's gonna. He thinks he can still get back in at this point because he's still getting picked.
If your manager has made it crystal clear that you're not part of his team or his plans, everyone else can see this, and he chooses to stay. He should be ready to take any sort of humiliation, abuse, whatever. He should be prepared for it. To be honest.
I like what Ten Hag's doing in the past. Like, since he's come in, I don't think he's put a foot wrong. Honestly, everything that he's done, the players that he's removed, the players that he's brought in have been almost perfect, pretty much. I know there's been certain ones who are questionable. You speak about Anthony and a few others, but everything he's done's been like bang on. He's the perfect manager to come in and just be cutthroat with it. The De Gea, Ronaldo, the captain with Maguire, like half of these things, if Ollie was still there, then players would probably still be here.
Do you know
just
what?
Because it's like, oh, how could he get rid of Ronaldo? How could he get rid of De Gea? He's been here 12 years. You get that sentiment about it, and you need that ruthlessness.
Managers wouldn't have the balls to do what he's doing.
No, not a prayer.
You know what? As well, you know when people put sort of importance on what managers say in press conferences. Every single press conference he's gone, oh, Ronaldo's very much part of my squad. Like, he's going to offer this. Yep. He's fucking gone. De Gea, he's an important player for me. I want him to stay. He's fucking gone. Harry Maguire, he's my captain. Like, he's important to the team. Like, he will play. He's fucking cut the captaincy. Don't believe a fucking word these managers say in post-match press conferences.
Political answers.
It means nothing. Yeah. It means nothing, man. So people need to stop putting stock in answer. Like, if Ten Hag says, "Oh yeah, he's happy with his squad," he's fucking not, mate. He's raging. He wants players. I'm telling you.
I remember a situation with Alexis Sanchez when that happened. I can't remember. I think it was.
Oh, was it Ollie with the load? He said, "Oh, he's going to come back."
Was like, he's going to come back. He's going to be a great player. Obviously, I could see right through it. I was like, "That's absolute bullshit." But everyone's like, "Is he mad? What do you mean bringing back Alexis Sanchez? You have to posture and make him look a certain way if you want to sell him, man. It's just football politics." We'll read out a few more comments. I just want to ask Chivy after it quickly about the Bruno and the captain situation, and then we'll talk about Amrabat.
Yeah, Pierce is saying Hojlund next, hopefully, mate. Henry Jones, you know the women's manager at Forest Green, she's already been sacked. She was appointed
really?
last Tuesday. She was appointed.
Fucking hell. Jesus.
That's bad, that. Wow. That's really bad.
Yeah.
Aaron Gregory, we're so bad at selling that we can't even get Saudi interested in our players. Yeah, absolutely. I send Fred, Jamie Rogan, I send Fred there. We get close to get our money back. I doubt we'd get 50 million for Fred at this point.
20, 25, of course.
Maguire is staying for the money, not like Bruno. He turned down the big bucks. Yeah, Bruno did turn down Saudi Arabia, didn't he? I don't know if if I've spoiled you.
Yeah.
You were gonna. Sorry.
No. That's what Romano said. He's turned down offers from Saudi Arabia. But you're playing at United in the Prem, and you're going to be the captain. So
exactly. Aaron Gregory is too young for West Ham. I think he's referred to Maguire at the moment. West Ham love them old players in their twilight years. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Jay McGorgan, we need Hojlund more. We need Hojlund up top, though, lads. I agree, mate. Absolutely. Sean saying selling to Mykonos FC. Oh, fucking! I think he's banned. I think he's banned from there. I don't think he's ever going back. Sean, Amrabat almost sounds like a Pokemon.
Yeah. And I think, isn't the one called Arrow? Oh, what is it called? It's like the one with the bone. Shit, what's it called?
Marowak.
Yeah, maybe that's where you kind of. Yeah, I don't know. What else? I agree though. Yeah. Is that all the any more comments?
Last one for Brian Casey. With Harry's ego, I wouldn't be surprised if he got angry, upset, absolute numpty. You know what? I think he probably was angry. He probably was upset. He can't be shocked. Like he can't be shocked about that.
No.
Like
what? They want to sell me.
They took the captaincy off it. He's shocked that they took the captaincy off him. Like, come on,
read the room, pal. Come on. Very, very quickly, and then we'll talk about Amrabat, Chive, because me and Dan and Sam spoke about the captaincy situation yesterday. Even Romano said this before, that he's probably going to be the new captain, and the decision has been made. He mentioned that before. And a Portuguese media and news outlet put it out there as well. How do you feel about that situation? Because you put in a few comments in yesterday. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, initially, I was very big on having Casemiro as well. My preferred choice was Casemiro instead of Bruno. But I think hearing some of the points that you raised, and hearing some other points like just content on TV, and I think it was on Sky Sports as well. Like, the captaincy is not just about being a leader. That's a really important point. Being a leader is really good, but then you have to be consistent. And course, I forgot the fact that Bruno played literally almost every game last season.
Yep.
Yeah, he was. I think he had more minutes in Europe than anyone else. I mean,
Yeah.
so you need a captain that's always there, always available. He might not have those leadership qualities that I think are needed, but you can tell that he holds himself to a high standard, and he expects that from everyone around him. So him getting the captaincy, I get it. I'm not as upset. Well, I wasn't upset, but I'm not as opposed to it as I was earlier. I think at the end of the day, it's the natural choice for Bruno to step in and have Casemiro behind him. I'm not sure Casemiro's English is good as well. So in terms of communicating with everyone else, that can spill, in a whilst you're in the heat of things, you can't be shouting at Rashford and then having Dalot having to run over to translate what you're trying to say.
One sec, just let me.
It's like, Diogo, come here, tell him.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think after considering and listening to like different arguments, I think it's the right choice. I think I'd go with Bruno and probably have Casemiro as a vice when he's not around. Some other players too. Varane is one of them ones, but he's not always available.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's the right choice to make.
Yeah, you have to take into consideration the suspensions that Casemiro's ultimately going to get as well. Like,
it's the natural thing to do, and yeah, I think he'll be a really good captain for us.
Yeah, let's see what happens with that. Last topic of the day, lads, and then we can leave you to it. Amrabat, the Pokemon. Fabrizio Romano was talking about Man United signing another midfielder this summer, saying, I'm hearing it's true that Sofian Amrabat is one of the players considered. They're waiting for outgoings before deciding for a new defensive midfielder. Fred has to leave and Donny has good chances of leaving also. So it's looking like we will sign another midfielder before the window shuts. And then in the past couple of hours, there was reports coming out from Italy that we made a €30 million bid, but they were false. Done a bit of digging on that. They were absolutely false. And then something that kind of correlates to it a little bit. We're looking at selling McTominay as well. He's an option that's open. West Ham apparently again are interested in signing. Maybe they want to fucking loan him as well. Who knows? I don't know. But that's the way the midfield thing's kind of shaping up at the minute. Just as a general consensus, lads, if we can sell McTominay and Fred, bring in someone like an Amrabat, would you be happy with this? Dan, I'll go to you first.
Yeah, definitely. Because Amrabat, the one positive thing about Amrabat is that he can play as a CDM also, and we need a backup for Casemiro definitely, because he's too prone to get red card, and if he gets a red card, he's getting the straight red card and not the with two yellows. So he'll get match ban, and we need a backup in that place. So now in the team, I don't think we have. I mean, only McTominay. I don't think he can do that at least 30-40% job what Casemiro does for us. So Amrabat will be a good addition for the team, and also he can also play at that number 8 role as well if time comes. And one of the positive thing and one of the abilities of Amrabat is that he uses his body so well while covering the ball, and I've seen him playing in some games, and he's like a complete warrior, and you need that type of player in when you are in Premier League, and he's totally fit for that particular role. And I think and last year we were so struggling to get players from the bench, and whenever you look towards the bench and you see players like Fred and McTominay, and you don't have many options. But with Amrabat in the bench is definitely a boost. I mean, upgrade on the bench as well. So I think if you sell Fred, I think somewhere around, if we are lucky, we can get somewhere around 15-20. If you're lucky, but now the rumor says that he's like somewhere around 10 or something, but I definitely think that we can get 15 or 20. He's that kind of player, and maybe one more player, maybe like Teles or Elanga for 10 each. We may get Amrabat for the similar price tag. So I think definitely he'll be an upgrade for the bench, and we needed that upgrade in the bench for sure.
I thought it was fantastic in the World Cup, Chiv, and you described him, didn't you, as like a technical bullet. Do you think he'd have any kind of troubles adapting to the Premier League, or do you think he'd be absolutely fine?
I mean, if you have good players around you, it shouldn't be a problem. He's got a good defense behind him. If let's just say hypothetically he signs, a really good defense behind him, and then if he's next to Casemiro, if he's next to Bruno, I think the transition would be a lot easier, especially with the kind of role that he plays. I'd love to have him, because I'll be honest with you guys, man, that midfield of Casemiro, Bruno, and Mount scares me. because it
Scares you.
Yeah, it scares me. It sounds
I'm
a
with
bit
you.
unbalanced. Like I feel tired for Casemiro just listening to having Mount.
Okay.
Yeah, it just there's not for me. Maybe it's just because I'm old school. There's not enough physicality in there. But I, hope I hope I'm wrong, and I hope I'm proven wrong by the manager. But it just sounds too lightweight. Like it's just Casemiro, and then I know Bruno and Mount have like bags of energy, but I don't know if you just have the strength or the physicality that someone like Amrabat can bring to supplement Casemiro.
Yeah.
And having that physicality and being very technical and having vision as well, because that's another thing that's downplayed about Amrabat, his ability to like his vision, his passes over the top. I'd love to have a player like that. So yeah, if we can sell Fred, I doubt we're going to sell both Fred and McTominay. I think it's going to be one or the other.
I agree.
If both of them go, happy days. But realistically, with the situation we're in now, I think it would be one or the other. So I'd like to have an addition like him.
Yeah. I think Amrabat would be perfect for them tough games as well. Like we need to rotate in an away game. I think it'd be absolutely perfect for that. What about the price, Sam? It's quite shocking, isn't it? Like 20 million, 25 million. You're talking about that. Do you think that's weird for United? Especially when we talk about Rasmus, like the 70 million euros there, and then 20 odd for Amrabat.
Yeah, it's weird how we're not being overcharged for him. Like if he's worth 25, 30, I'm surprised we're not being charged 50, like 60,
Crazy.
like you think, but. It does happen sometimes. Like I know even though we didn't want Donny technically, we did get him for a reasonable fee, didn't we? It was 30 million. So like, I think it's a reasonable fee, but it happens. What have you seen, Chivy?
No, can you imagine if it was like a call on speakerphone, and then they go like, so how much is Amrabat? And then they go 25.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll negotiate. Like,
The CEO next to him's twatting him like, you fucking it.
Yeah.
Like...
20. That's what happened when we said we'll pay 50 for Fred, and all the Shakhtar Donetsk, all the executives there were like, they're paying 50 million quid. Like, yes.
Did you say 25 minutes?
Yeah. Yes. That sounds like a good deal. We'd like to do that. Yes.
Oh, no, just like, that's a bit high for us. That we were thinking more like 15, 20, like just
20 plus add-ons, Ballon d'Or clause, something like that. Jesus. But yeah, great business. That'd be fantastic business. I think we bring him in. I think if you're looking at the kind of the way, just to kind of conclude now with the transfer window, Mason Mount in first, Onana after him, Zion. Suzuki to bring in as like a secondary keeper. You bring Amrabat in as well, Rasmus Hojlund, and then God knows what can happen at the end of the window. With whatever happens with the takeover, which we've got no update on that. So if there's anyone asking in the chat, no idea, absolutely no idea. But if anything does happen with that, and then you can get a little cherry on top at the end, like a Harry Kane or someone like that, absolutely laughing. I'd be happy with that. But yeah, we'll see how that works, because you can have many twists and turns in the transfer window, and nothing's guaranteed, is it? To be honest with you, you just never know. So yeah, I did have something interactive planned, but I'll leave it for another day because we've spoken about a lot, and I know Chivy needs some paracetamol and a glass of water because he's hanging. So yeah, we have spoken about. Go on, Dan.
Yeah. Sorry, maybe a small quick ones. I would like to ask quick questions. Maybe the chat can also get involved in this. So I'll name out the players, and maybe you can tell the realistic price we can get for them. Dean Henderson.
Realistic 20.
For who? Henderson. I think we could get 25. I think we could definitely get 25 for him.
Yeah, I would. In my head, I'd say 25, but realistically, like Nick says, it has to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if we're trying to get rid.
Yeah. Well, Ilanga, realistically, I thought 10. But if Everton are offering 15, 20, gimme. Again, it's like the same situation on the phone again. 20, yes, get it in. Yeah. But 10.
Same. I thought like 5.
Yeah.
With
add-ons.
I think I said 8. I think I did it in the comments. I think I said like 8 million or something for Ilanga. But 20 million, fucking give it. Like, I will drive him up myself. Like, fuck it.
What about Fred?
He should be 30. He should be 30 million. He should.
I'd say 20. I'd say
But
25. Realistic.
If Galatasaray are chuck, what was it, 6 million they chucked at us or something ridiculous.
Yeah, just about that.
Yeah. Talk about disrespect, Chivy. 6 million for Fred for Galatasaray.
Low balling.
That's taking
Who do you
the
think
piss.
Do you think we're selling a fucking academy? Like, do you know what I mean? Fuck off. £6 million. Atrocious. Yeah.
Last two. The first one is Telles.
8 million.
Yeah. 8 to 10. Around that.
Just take it.
Whatever you can get. Whatever you can get, just take it.
You know, it's one of them ones where they'll be like, 8 million. You'll be like, listen, just because it's you, just because I know you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do you a solid.
I'll do you a deal.
Yeah.
Last
one?
Van de Beek.
Loan. We ain't getting a price for him.
Can we give him away? Can we give him for free?
We're not getting money for Donny van de Beek this
No.
season. If it happens, I'll do something crazy online. It's not happening. Loan.
Really, if any club comes in to buy him on permanent deal, how much do you think?
10. 10, 15.
7 million. Like he's.
Now, to be honest, like 10, between 10.
10.
And 15,
Yeah, 10 with 5 add-ons. I can see happening. To be honest with you.
10 and
Yeah.
15, just,
I don't see anybody buying him. Like, who the fuck is coming in for him?
You'd be surprised. Like,
Come in.
You might go back.
I know. I was saving it for the end, Nick. I was saving it for the end. But we'll get into it. The
You might
roast.
go back to like Heron Veen or like PSV.
Yeah. The roast of Harry Maguire is happening in the chat, by the way. So I'll just read out a couple of the comments because it's bad. Aaron Groger said his mum still tells him he's the best centre back in the world while cooking his turkey dinosaurs and turkey twizzlers. That's not too bad.
That's not very far off, to be honest. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if that actually happens. She supports. She fights for him.
Well
as
done.
Oh yeah,
Harry.
she kicks off on Twitter, doesn't she? So
Yeah, she fights for him. And so,
yeah. Maguire looks like he enjoys the tomato soup and Findia's crispy pancakes in his pajamas before bed. Aaron Gregory says he definitely eats them pies in a tin.
Yo.
Fucking hell. Oh, fucking hell.
Like, he fights-
Pies in a tin.
Fucking
Gets worse. It gets worse. Jay Rogan B&M specials. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I can read this one.
Do it. Whatever it is, just go for it.
Maguire eats raw bisto with a spoon. By the way, Dad, bisto is powdered gravy. That's what that is. Right, if you don't know what that is. Maguire still eats Billy Bear sandwiches. That's amazing.
I don't think we're going to get Maguire on for an interview, are we? I think we're past it now. I think
Robert tonight says he doesn't use a spoon, he snorts it. So.
the disrespect, man.
That's
Honestly.
so bad. Anyway, I think that's the last of roast, and then people were putting prices in for different players. Henry Jones saying 30 million for Dean Henderson to Forest. I'd love that, but I don't see us. But yeah, 15 million to Everton for Ilang. You're right, Nick.
Same guys, but 35 million to Al somebody. And so put 20 million to Al Randomo.
Oh, fucking hell. 12 million back to Porto. Fred, 29 million for Vince Bullock. Rubber's asking Sancho how much?
Oh, 45.
Yeah, come with 40. Like, just come with your 40.
Yeah, minimum, bare minimum. And we can talk.
And then Flip Flops is asking if we couldn't get Amrabat, who would you go for in a defensive midfielder?
Pikachu.
Nice.
Isn't Rabiot supposed to be on a free or something?
No, he re-signed. He re-signed with Juventus. Yeah.
Yeah. Good question. I don't know. I haven't had a look at backup sixes, to be honest. It's something I need to take a close look at.
I would have loved Brozovic before he went to Saudi, didn't he? He got to play at Saudi. Brozovic would have been good.
I'll somebody.
I'll random her.
Yeah.
I'll random her.
Yeah. Top player. He is top player, to be fair.
And this is the price for Ellis.
From Sociedad.
Who?
What?
Some guy called Zubimendi is at Sociedad, but he's
Oh, yeah.
highly rated, but like no one's gone.
Dan, what did you say then?
The price for Ellis is this.
A few what?
Peanuts.
What is that?
Peanuts.
Yeah. Peanuts. Right. Yeah. Before this roast continues, I'm going to leave you with a sound which I know everybody loves. So let's just play his out on this, shall we?
Wait. Let me put in the correct emoticon.
Yes.
There we go.
Can absolutely
If you're
do
a real
that. By the
Reds
way-
member, you have this emoticon. So I want to see this emoticon in the chat all the way down. All the members, put this dude in the chat. All right, go for it.
You capybaras, get him in. Get him in, boys. Oh, legendary shit.
I was hoping it was that. Nice one.
Yes. Make sure you leave a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and we will see you in the next one. Peace.
Peace.